Hey folks, Vic here with your weekly trade video for Friday, April the 3rd of 2026. This is Darko in Colombia, where he's heading on Thursday. He went on Thursday this week, and he's going to be down there for I think about a month or so. He was there last year, and so I just thought it would be appropriate to put that smiling face of his up there in this beautiful looking weather here. It looks pretty good. Markets don't get much more uncertain than they are right now. With the ongoing tensions in the Middle East, the volatility has been unpredictable, and for most traders, this is exactly where things start to fall apart, maybe even have their account wiped out. But this is also where process matters the most. In this pre-market analysis video that I'm going to show you, Darko walks through his exact repeatable approach, breaking down price from, as he always does, right from the higher time frames all the way down to execution. There's no guessing. There's no bias. We never have a bias. We don't go, we hope price goes here. We wish price would do it. No, hoping and wishing won't pay your bills. Reading price is what you want to do. Just read what price is actually doing. That's all that Darko does. And here's what matters and what makes this service very different. This wasn't a trade explained after the fact. This was called live in advance inside our chat room and went on to hit a full 320 pip target. It was pretty nice. Now, the strategy itself has not changed, but the way Darko is managing his trades has, just for now, because context always matters. And right now, the geopolitical environment is pretty shaky. So he's just a little more willing to get risk out, have a free look, not get cute with aggressive profit taking. And in this video, you'll see he'll talk about that and how it plays out in real time. All right, so let's just have a look. So what I'm going to show you here now is this is the post that Darko made about buying the Euro New Zealand dollar pair, the Kiwi, the Euro, the EN. Okay, and you'll see that in this text right here, this is what he posted. That he mentions the weekly close. Okay, he says the EN breached the weekly high, the previous weekly high, decisively bullish weekly candle, second previous weekly closing price as the entry long. That's what this dotted line here is. This is our 4-hour chart, our entry time frame chart, and look at the resistance at this level here. And it was a very clear level on the weekly chart. You'll see it in the video when I show you that. But in any event, the entry was down here. It's kind of blurry here. It was at 197.60. We front run by 5 pips. All that kind of stuff is part of our normal trading. And so the entry was down here at 197.60, like I said. And I wanted to just mention one more thing. I just have a little note to myself here. In the video that you're going to see next here, Darko said that the EN, the Euro Kiwi, is a pending order. No, actually, it was a pending order. It was actually filled when he showed the video. It was he just used the wrong word there. It was a pending order that was posted in the chat room, like I just showed you. This one right here. He posted it way before price got here. And he just said it is a pending order. Actually, it was a pending order. Just wanted to clarify that. Okay, here is Darko with the next PMA following the fill.
Euro Kiwi is a pending order. The reason is pretty obvious. The previous monthly candle was a spinning top. That usually means reversal. The previous yearly candle is bullish. This current monthly candle breached the previous monthly high. Okay, and let me just remove the entry for now and mark the closing price of this month. It's also a neckline on a weekly chart. Okay, so even if price comes down into this level should be very hard to breach. That's what typically happens when things are operating normally. So I don't see this dropping, so therefore my stop loss is below 25 pips below the previous weekly low. Okay, the entry was perfect, the second previous weekly closing price as usual, and now it's a waiting game. So let's see how things goes. Price is making higher highs, taking out all the previous weekly and monthly highs. Those are usually remarkable. And obviously when you get filled, the rules are first we hopefully we get a leaving candle, and if price retests the first neckline, then we are taking the risk out. In this specific case, I don't want to make this. I don't want to see this dealing now doing the same thing as it did on a pound dollar when we saw 115 pips end up in a reduced loss. So I might be taking the profit before we hit that swing. Just take out the risk and have a free look. I'm adjusting my trade management because of the market conditions, nothing else. Okay.
So I'll just show you the aftermath of the trade. When you saw that screenshot that I showed you, price was up in here somewhere. Here's that level. Remember you said that there was a weekly level there? Oh, let me just show you that. That was right here. See that weekly level right there? That was the entry in that 197, that 197.60 that I mentioned before. And I will just put this back to the 4-hour chart. And again, you can see what a great level of resistance that was. It got broken, it came down, filled right here, right where the green circle is, and this was the move up. And in the chat room, by the way, Darko told everyone that his final target was going to be at 201.10 way before price got there. That's because it was I'll show you on the weekly chart, it was an opposing level on the weekly chart, and that was up into this stuff in here. Okay, and actually that would have been I think about 350 pips. He gave it a bit easier, again because of just the environment right now, and took 320 pips. Still a pretty darn nice trade. Well, like I mentioned earlier, this was not an easy month. Calling trades in advance before they play out, especially in conditions like this, is no small task. It takes a level of clarity and discipline and flat out courage that most traders never develop, but Darko has never wavered, and he just continues to step up and alert our traders to pending orders in advance, profitably for 8.5 years and counting. And that's the difference. This 320 pip move wasn't luck, right? It was the result of following a structured process, taking a trade with the odds in our favor, staying objective and managing the trade based on what the market was doing, not what we hoped it would do. Okay, hope is not a strategy. Even though, even through this tough stretch, that consistency led to a positive result for the month of March. Not perfect, but consistent. And in trading, that's what actually is going to move you ahead. So, listen, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this. I hope you got some real value from this video. If you were ever wondering about joining our service, geez, I hope that you can see how valuable it can be, as evidenced by coming out of a month like March slightly ahead of the game, considering this pretty crazy environment. It's nice to have a professional trader to guide you along. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Hope you all have a great weekend and week ahead. Take care.